we must have a global vision and not be stuck in our code. Code finally is a tool. So let's take a quick journey to the evolution of programming tools. Believe it or not, it begins by carving stones because humans, as the first thing they found to store data was to writing on stones. And then paper was invented, and calculation machines, and pinch card, and finally we arrive at our modern code editors and modern language. This is a difference between carving stones and real was huge than going to AI. And now we're stepping into the era of AI. Each step has brought changes and empowered us to be more creative by handling tedious tasks. The huge difference between these steps and the AI step is the pace. AI is going very, very fast. So we must adapt quickly. So this is a representation of Ada Lovelace, the first programmer. We did it, this is my boyfriend, we did it with German, he's really good at that. And so imagine Ada Lovelace with us today. Would she lost her job because of AI? I think quite the contrary. Think of what a brain like that could create with the tools we have now. Our everyday life would have seemed magical to her. You see her with a laptop now. Looks natural, no? And she was writing algorithm by hand that now we can implement in a few keystrokes. Our modern tools would amplify our genius, just like AI can amplify ours. Ada wouldn't be out of job. She would be leading the charge, innovating, and pushing boundaries just like she did at her time. And now this is Ada at the AI age. So consider Ada as a symbol of what we can achieve with AI in our toolkit. She harnessed the power of the analytic engine, and now we have AI, which is our modern day equivalent. So her legacy isn't just in her historical contribution, but in the mindset she represents, one of curiosity, innovation, and pursuit of knowledge. So with AI, we can ask ourselves, what would have Ada built today? The possibilities are limitless. AI empowers us to take on more ambitious projects, streamlines our workflow, and innovate at a pace that Ada would have dreamed of. So it's not that just AI make us code faster, but this time we can put it to build other things, to augment us. So as Ada transcended the limitation of her time, let's use AI to transcend ours, to build things that we've never imagined possible. So now let's address the common misconceptions. AI can code, so we are not useful anymore. Okay, AI is powerful, but it's not infallible. And when it comes to advanced coding, a deep understanding of code is crucial. You have heard about the Devin assistant. Who have heard about it? Okay, not so much people. So they announced this Devin thing that is the first human AI software engineer. But guess what? The company behind Devin, which is named Cognitive, is hiring human software engineers. So think about it. Generate code, but it's our expertise that refines it, give it context, and evaluate its effectiveness. So this is a cyclical process of iteration, much like a dialogue with the AI to reach the best solution. So think about AI like of natural language as a new programming language. So to leverage AI effectively, you need to understand programming principles. So imagine you use AI to draft a basic legal contract. Okay, you can do it. But would you trust AI to more advanced legal matters? I don't understand anything about legal things, so I will never do that. I will ask to a lawyer. That certainly, or perhaps will use AI too, and then refines it. So I think this principle is true not only for us developers, but for every profession. So we're moving into an era where we will be working alongside with AI. We must evolve our skills. We must stay ahead of emerging technologies and methodologies in programming. So now let's dive into the practical application in AI development. So first, of course, AI allows us to code faster with Copilot, or there is other tools like I have tried, for example, Cursor. This is a code editor, exactly like VS Code, but it has AI integrated. I have tried pieces.app, which is open source, and you can have your snippets into it, and you can also keep memory of your chats. Source graph that I have not really tried, but there is many tools. So of course you can quickly create a component, for example, a form or whatever. You know how to do it, but why spend 10 minutes when you can do it in a few seconds and then refine it? But it can also fix your bugs, but not only fix them, but explain you what is wrong. So at the same time, you are learning, and sometimes it's wrong, so you are chatting with it. And one big advantage, and I think the ones that are really using it feel that it keeps you in the flow, because you are not stuck anymore. You don't need to go to Google to Stack Overflow and take the risk of being distracted by another website or whatever. You just stay in your editor and you chat with your assistant. And strangely, I feel also less alone when it's more fun when I code with Copilot, and sometimes it's wrong, but it works for me. So then you can learn with AI. You have a lot of GPTs for learning to code, so you can ask it questions and it will build a program for you with an exercise, etc. So that's another thing. You can also navigate documentation. For example, you need to do something with a new tool and you have all this documentation and you just pass it to ChatGPT or another model and ask it, okay, I need to do that. Can you explain me how to do that? Or if you don't understand something, say, okay, explain me that like I'm 5 years old and in French, please. And it does it. So. But AI is not just a coding or learning assistant. You can use AI to build apps that anticipate user needs, personalize experience, or automate complex tasks. So if you dream of launching your own SaaS, this is the perfect way, and there is a lot of opportunities now. And also, if you consider a career shift, the demand for AI engineers is going to be huge. And as JavaScript developers, believe it or not, your skills are a strong foundation to build on. So what is the learning path to become an AI engineer? So I feel that many of you are like that. Who is like that, thinking to become an AI engineer, they need to learn mathematics, data science, machine learning, deep learning, Python, etc. Who thinks that? And so they don't have time. Okay, almost everybody, most of people. Good. So I have a good news for you. So this is AI, but in this is AI, we have all these subsets: machine learning, neural networks, deep learning, generative AI, and we are here in the large language model. And this is where we are going to interact. So this is a screenshot from Latent Space from Swix, and I really recommend to read this article. And it says that we are observing a once-in-a-generation shift, right. So we see we are here, full stack engineer, AI engineer, APIs. A shift right of applied AI, fueled by the emergent capabilities and open source API availabilities of foundation models. A wide range of AI tasks that used to take 5 years, and the research team, so research team, there is machine learning researcher, etc. To accomplish in 2013, now just require API docs and a spare afternoon in 2023. So this means that we are now not building models from scratch, but what you need is to know how to interact with them, mostly through APIs. It means that if you can make a web request, you are already in a good way. So I think everybody's in a good way here. So this is a tweet from Andrew Karpathy, which is one of the founding members of OpenAI. In numbers, there's probably going to be significantly more AI engineers than there are machine learning engineers. One can be quite successful in this role without ever training anything. So think about all that. So how to do it? First up, let's get the basics down. AI is a big umbrella that that makes machines act like they have a brain. Machine learning is a part of AI where computers learn from data. So instead of telling them every step, they get better at their task by themselves, learning from examples. Large language models, such as GPT, are special tools under machine learning focused on understanding and creating text. They can generate new text and images based on their training. So understanding these basics help us to see what AI can do and give us a starting point for diving deeper into the world of AI engineering. Next, let's talk about working with AI APIs. With APIs, we can ask these AI systems to do tasks for us. So some of the big names in the space include OpenAI with GPTs, Anthropic with Claude, Google with Gemini, and Hugging Face, which offer open source AI models. It's like the GitHub for AI. So first, try using and playing with these APIs to see what you can create or improve in your projects. So it's not just about using them, but understanding how they can change the way we build software. And that's a big thing in AI. The code is not very complicated, to be honest, but there is a lot of tools and things, and the information is spread everywhere, and it's understanding the ecosystem and what you can do, and then you want to dig and learn things. So experimenting with these AI APIs can open up new possibilities for your projects and products. Next, you need to understand RAGs. So who knows what RAGs are? Okay, not a lot of people. So RAGs means retrieval augmented generation. So with RAGs, we can augment the model with additional data. So the model is trained with all the internet, etc. But for example, if you're building a customer service chat for your company, you will first need to feed the model with information about your company. So this will augment the model, and then the AI can generate information to people who are chatting with it. So next, let's see how we add this data, this RAG, to the LLM and how we retrieve the information. So first, this information needs to be broken in chunks because the LLM have a limited number of tokens. You know, when you are making a chat with ChatGPT, if you make a very long chat, ChatGPT will not remember the first your first question, etc., because it don't have enough tokens to digest all this content. So we need to broke this information in chunks. Then, depending on the question, on the query, they will find the corresponding chunk semantically similar. This means we can ask AI to find pieces of text that are not just similar in words, like in classic search, but in meaning and context. That's a semantically similar thing. And then it will apply this chunk as context for your query. Then these chunks need to be transformed in embeddings, which involves converting this data into vectors. And vectors are an array of numbers that the machine can understand. Then these vectors will be stored in a vector database, and there is many existing databases that have a vector option, for example, Superbase. Then the query will also be transformed in a vector, and we search the database by semantic similarity in order to generate responses based on the most similar context. So imagine you have a chat about recipes, you have all sorts of recipes, and your query will be, okay, find me recipes for summer. So it will return recipes that are light and fresh, like salads, not soups, because it will understand that summer is hot, so you need fresh and light food, and so by similarity, you will present salads or other foods that are fresh and light. Even in the word summer, there is not the word salad. So this is how it works, basically. So here is an image. We have our user that enter a question, a query in the chat. This query is sent to the embedder. Then these embeddings are transformed in vectors and sent to the vector storage and sent to the large language model. Same thing for the, I don't think this word. Oh shit. I don't know. Okay, and then the data source is also sent to the embedder and to the vector storage and to the LLM, and with all that, it retrieves the right chunk, which is similar, and generate the answer. So that's nice, but if you build real-world AI application, it will not only be a prompt to an LLM. You will need several tasks. Imagine that you build an app to plan vacations. It will need to understand user preferences, to find destination, to check the weather, so you have to call a weather API, to suggest travel options, etc. So this is where orchestration frameworks like LangChain or Llama Index come into play. They help us to chain different tasks together, as well as methods to chunk, retrieve, embed, generate, etc. And also to streamline the work with different LLM APIs, because for different tasks you have to choose which LLM is the best, because you want to spare tokens, because it becomes costly for tokens, so you are not going to use GPT-4, which is expensive for everything. And also, yes, you can use a tool named Flowise. It's a graphic user interface. It's no code, and it's on top of LangChain. LangChain, by the way, is in Python, but it's also in JavaScript. So I'm looking a bit of Python, which is not very complicated, but it's in JavaScript. And so Flowise, it's a graphic user interface, and you can build your application visually, and it delivers an API. So I begin with that, and then it opens your mind to understand what you can do and what can work, and then you can dive into code after. And finally, I have my hands on the beta version of a very promising developer tool named Langbase that will be released this month. And with it, you can create what is called pipes, which means prompt instruction personalization engine. And these are like AI features, like you can deploy like a serverless function, leveraging any large language model, tools or knowledge, and then you can share them and reuse them. And all that is done through a sleek graphic user interface, and you can upload your data to make RAGs and also optimize the tokens. So take a look on that because I think it would be very nice. So, in conclusion, natural language is emerging as a new tool for our trade. But let's not forget, the essence of being a developer cannot be replicated by AI. Our ability to understand deeply, innovate bravely, and solve problems creatively is what makes us uniquely human. So, as we embrace AI, remember that is not a replacement, but a supplement to our human capabilities. So let's continue to push the boundaries of what's possible by learning to code along with AI, as well as learning how to build powerful applications with it. AI can support us in becoming the best developers we can be. So here are all the links, if you want to take a screenshot, that I have talked about. And then there is another thing for the slides. So here you have this QR code for the slides. And thank you, and please, if you have questions, find me outside. I love talking with people. I'm a people person, and I'm very interested about AI, so don't hesitate to talk to me.